Well, hey, welcome to Gold Fever Adventures. I'm Jack Tucker. You know, the day I was kind of going through the computer and I came across some of these older videos, and a while back somebody was asking me about desert prospecting and the difference, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and rebroadcast one of these older videos, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I hope you guys enjoy, but I want to thank all my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing to the channel. But hey, thanks everybody, and I hope you guys enjoy. Well, welcome to Arizona. I'm out here in the desert. You know, desert prospecting is a little bit different than prospecting in your streams and your creeks and your rivers. Out here, it's got to be fairly dry to process the material. And about the only method you have of processing is with a dry washer, and the dirt has to be pretty dry to do that. And you could do a little bit of metal detecting, and you could also just maybe take some dirt home with you and run it through a recirculator, but then of course you're using water, so you're really out of the desert. You're taking the material home with you though. And then you could do a little bit of cracking bedrocks and vacuuming. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I even brought me a little rock crusher. I want to try to find some rocks and crush up. So, and I got a dry washer, so I'm just going to kind of walk around and maybe look for some areas and maybe determine then what it is that I want to do. You walk up here, see this gravel layer? See how this is laid in? All of this here, so, see how it's laid in? That's a gravel layer. If you were digging, you could get into this gravel layer. There's some hard packed, this all black sands, but this is your gravel layers that you're looking for. The dirt's reddish dirt. All good areas to dig in. As I walk up and down here, you can see there's been lots of people digging through this area here before. Lots of evidence of people digging. So they're finding some color, or at least you would think with all this digging they got going on. You can see the old pieces of iron or scrap metal, whatever. It's kind of as it's flowed down. Now here, so let me back up a bit here. Let me just I'm just going to check some rocks out here. Let's just kind of assess here for a moment. Let's just kind of look around and assess. Let's see, there's a shiny little rock that's kind of shiny, got sparkles on it. Huh. Oh, see, now see these right here? Right there? That more than likely is hematite. There's another little one. There's another one that's a little bit bigger piece. See, it's got quartz on it. Hematite with some quartz. So, there's another little piece. So that, for some reason, got stuck over there. You see your gravels inside there. So I kind of like the gravels. And somebody else has tested here, though, too. It's also on the inside bend as it's coming down through here. This is the inside bend. But people's tested more towards, they should have did the back end. Maybe I'll do something right in this area right here. Maybe I'll set up a dry washer right here and work the dry washer. We'll see. Going all through here. Been a lot of diggings. This is bedrock right here. There's your bedrock. People's work behind this bedrock right here. Now, generally, just to show you something here, you can see right behind where they cracked the bedrock and worked there. Now, if there would have been, gold trapped in that bedrock, that's fine. But as this thing flows down with water, when we get flash floods, any gold that's still locked on the sides or something may get dislodged, and it will fly down here. As it hits this bedrock here, it creates a waterfall. So a lot of people may want to dig right there in the waterfall, but what actually happens is that's a blowout. So it blows that material out from the force of the water, and it lands up on top. And that's why you see this mound of dirt right here. It's mounded up. It's higher than the rest of the stuff because this is blowed out. So if there's any gold, it wouldn't necessarily be right there. It would have blowed out and been into here. So this would have been the area to dig at for some of that flood gold. And you can see nobody's been in here. And then it just kind of continues to flow its way on down right there, and then disperses itself and settles out. Other area you could dig into, if you look in here, you'll see two washers. You got this wash coming down right here, then you got another wash right there coming down. And as they meet, it creates this V, and that starts to back up the flow of the water, and it starts to back up. So again, you see this pile of dirt right here. So your heavies will start to settle out towards the back of this here. And you could get into here and dig some stuff. So I'll just look for rocks. There's a lot of quartz around here. Lots of quartz. Lots of quartz and lots of places to dig. Let's just walk up here a little further, see what's up here. See what's up here. Maybe there, oh, somebody did some serious digging right there. Dug right there. Oh, there's bedrock right there. So their bedrock came down right here. Now they actually, if you look at this here, the bedrock's right here. That's the low spot. They've actually put all their tailings. They must have been finding some decent color there, but they put their tailings. Here's more bedrock right here. So they should have been digging, instead of putting their tailings right there, they should have kind of come this way into the wash. They went, if they followed for some reason this line of bedrock going down into there, but see, it stopped. This bedrock continues on through, and then again it's right here. So there's going to be a little cut right in there. So they should have dug in there. Of course, they could have did that too, and they just filled their tailings back in. But
now, if you're going to be out here in the desert and play around, at least you should have some of the amenities. Take away some of the heat. You know, find your nice shady spot, set up in the shade, and then run your, well, I got a dry washer set up right here. Not bad, huh?
Prospecting in the desert has many challenges that are unique to this harsh environment. Primarily, it is the lack of water, or more specifically, the inaccessibility of water to process material using traditional alluvial mining methods. Of course, there are many gold-bearing areas that are in arid desert environments. And while it may be true that tools like sluice boxes certainly aren't going to work here, there are several options to allow you to search for gold in the desert. Using a metal detector is one of the most popular methods to search for gold in the desert. In states like Arizona and Nevada, metal detectors are still used very successfully to locate gold nuggets. They don't require any water to use, and modern gold detectors have gotten quite good in recent years. Dry washers are a piece of mining equipment that every desert gold prospector should own. Rather than using water to move material and allow gold to settle out of the gravels, they use vibration and air pressure to do the same process. Capture rates for dry washers are not as good as methods like sluicing or panning, but they are the only decent option in many dry locations. And although they have lesser recovery rates, you can feed material into them rather quickly, which can make up for the reduced recovery. The dirt that you run through a dry washer should be completely dry. If it isn't, the gold will get stuck in the dirt and be easily lost. Since even the best dry washer will lose a certain amount of gold, it is always a good idea to scan over your tailing piles with a metal detector every once in a while, just in case a nice nugget got lost. Prospectors use dry washers in combination with a good metal detector to maximize efficiency. Crevicing is a very simple method that you can use to find gold in the desert. This method simply involves carefully cleaning out cracks in the bedrock, often using just basic hand tools, and later panning out the concentrates that you collect. Crevicing is slow work, and you don't process large amounts of material like you do with other mining methods. However, if you are in a good location, you will be getting very high quality concentrates that should be loaded with fine gold. The trick is to find a rich area to crevice. One great tool to use for crevicing is a modified dry vac. These are a great investment and can do an awesome job of cleaning out those deep cracks. Most of the gold that has been mined in the desert comes from hard rock mines, where gold is extracted directly from the rocks. There are still considerable hard rock gold deposits out there that can be mined by the small-scale gold prospector that have not yet been discovered. All you need is a simple rock crusher that you can break apart the ores for further processing. This way you can collect rock samples and break them up to see what they contain inside. This method will take some research to learn to identify what gold-bearing rocks look like in your mining area. Different mining districts will have different ores that will be of interest.
I'm using a puffer style dry washer. Before I shut this off, I'm just going to show you how this works. I have a 12-volt battery, and this is a bellows type right here. And so what happens is, as the motor spins it, and the bellows, every time it sucks down, it sucks air in. Then when it blows itself up, it blows air up into the box. So when it blows air up into the box, it just kind of puffs this on down. That's a little more quieter. Moved a lot of material. And then, as you notice also on a dry washer, different than a river sluice or high banker or dredge riffles. The riffles are backwards in a dry washer. On a river sluice, the riffles are designed for when the gold and heavies go over it, it creates the eddy and kind of sucks it back up behind the riffles. On the dry washer, they're bent backwards, so as the heavies come down, they get caught in front of the riffles right here. Sometimes when you flip these trays, turn around, pull them out and flip them, you can see the gold in there. If it's anything big, but it's nothing big. There's some chunky black sands. You know, this black sands, chunky black sands. That's a good sign when you get chunky black sands. Chunky black sands, chunky gold. Fine black sands, fine gold. See all the black sands in here? Look at all that black sands. Now also, keep in mind that once your riffles all fill up here with your black sands and your heavies, gold's going to have a hard time going through down in that black sand to get caught. So you can lose gold. So it's better to do more cleanups when you're using a dry washer. I'm going to take this back to my place and I'll pan it out later. Oh man, that can be a lot of work, you know. Dry washers are not the most efficient way to get gold, but when you're out here in the desert, it's about the only way. So you want to make sure you run your dry washer the best way possible so you get the best recovery rate, since probably most dry washers only have anywhere from an 80 to 90% recovery rate. Some may be a little bit more, depends how you run it. So run it the most efficient way possible. Out here, stay hydrated. What I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to go ahead and metal detect my tailings. You should always metal detect your tailings because you never know. There's a half-inch grizzly on top of that, and anything larger than half-inch is just going to roll off into your tailings pile. And I've also seen larger nuggets roll off the other side too, just kind of float them way all down. So detect both sides of your piles. So I'm going to do that, and then I think I'll go ahead out here a little bit and maybe do me a little bit of quick metal detecting. There is a cool breeze out here today, and that makes it really more comfortable to being out here. It's still probably about 105 degrees, maybe. That's about all today. So it's still a little warm, but at least with the breeze, it does make it comfortable. You know, there's a lot of washes out here. The desert is just full of them. They're everywhere, all running down here, and on every little side of the hill, there's all these washes. There's one there, one further up, there's one there. Just on this side, there's another one there. It's just wash after wash after wash. What happens is on the higher grounds, and even on the flats, up on the flats, you'll have your quartz veins that contain the gold, and it'll come up. And then as the weathering breaks it apart and it works its way down, and then it gets caught inside of these little washes. It doesn't move much once it gets in the washes because it's got to have a flash flood really to move it. So every time it flash floods, you know, maybe once every couple of years maybe, or, you know, once a year even, it'll move it down a little bit and then it just stops there. So we're looking for that float gold that's just sitting on the top, basically a few inches down, that just keeps coming down, and every year it just keeps replenishing itself. So when you're out in the desert, you're just looking for these washes and little rivulets, little feeder washes, and there's gold everywhere out here. These are trumpet plants. You only find these in highly mineralized soil. And when you got highly mineralized soil, you know what that means? Yes, it means you can find some gold. Tell you what though, this dry washing can be a little hard work, all that shoveling. So that's why you got to make sure you have some good old shade. I got me some cold iced tea, mango flavor. Stay hydrated. There's not a lot of people that come out in the desert in the summertime. And you know what? That's a good thing. I got it all to myself. Yeah. All the gold is mine in the summertime because everybody's scared to go out in the desert. And that's okay. You know, that's all right. Sometimes it's easier to go out early in the morning, late in the afternoon, and just avoid the heat of the day. So it's still morning. It's probably going on about 11 o'clock now. And what I'll do is take my concentrates that I've got from here, and I'll go back and get under some air conditioning, and then later this afternoon I'll go pan them out, and maybe I'll show you if I get any gold or not. But anyway, that's dry washing and metal detecting, and that's all we had time to do today. But that's desert prospecting at its finest. There's a lot of gold out in the desert. Don't ever forget that. See if I got any gold in there. This is what I just got out there, laying around. Could use a safety pin since these are all my concentrates, but I know that they're in the tub here in case I do lose anything. We got black sand. See how chunky that is? See how chunky that black sands are. Flip them chunky pieces on out of there. Okay, let's take a sneaky peek. Get rid of these bigger rocks out of there. Don't need them in there. Okay, telltale sign. See how chunky that black sand is? Nice, big coarse black sands. Okay. Well, I see gold. Yeah, I see gold. See, there's some right there. There's some right there. Yeah, see, there's gold. Oh, yeah, okay. That's not bad, huh? How's that? Some fines. There's a little bit of fines in there. See, it's kind of coarse. It hasn't traveled very far. Some fine gold. So, that's what gold is. That's playing in the desert. Got some gold.